Hello, everyone, to my podcast, Master Your Emotions and Find Your Truth. And I just only changed few weeks ago a recording about my podcasting. So it's not just only master your emotions, but also find your truth and live with that truth every day. So what you speak, you need to follow that. Just only don't say it and just only throw it away to the bin and then forgetting and complaining about it. But anyway, today, welcome everyone warmly. And today is the number 37. Like everyone know what I'm going to do now. So I'm going unravel a little bit around the angelic number. So number 37 is an amazing number today. And also for my guest, she doesn't know yet. That was actually, she didn't know that would be number 37. But this is enlightenment. This is exploration. This is like an angel is calling you and warming that's giving that a warm wings around you and saying everything is okay, everything is divinely prepared for you, so everything is running smoothly for you. You are on the right path and with the right circumstances and right skills, so go for it. So that's the angel saying. So 37 is that number around, but let me just only divide it very quickly. Number 3 is like a master number. It's a trinity number. It's the number of the creation. That number is giving you that alignment. And number 7, that's the number you are looking for. So wherever you go, when you see number 7, if that will be on the doors, on the cars, plates, and wherever you can see, number 7 is giving you that alignment. That's number 7 is showing you from your spirit of the angels, if you would like to. It's like, okay, I'm on the right path. So carry on and go forward. If some of you really, really drawn to that numbers, angelic numbers, or any spiritual numbers, so I'm inviting you, go online and do your own research. I'm not here to giving you all information because that would be then I will be disempowering you. So it's not my work this time on this planet at disempowering the people, just giving you that a little bit information, and that the rest is yours. Okay, so that's all from me. And today I've got a beautiful lady, beautiful soul. I couldn't stress it now. I couldn't describe in the words. So today I've got the Adele. Um, I would like to say a little bit around what she's doing and how she just only creates something special in her life, in this time, in this life. But anyway, I'm going to give her a voice later on. So Adele, welcome warmly. So she's a beautiful, beautiful soul who just only she's a founder, actually. Let me just only say that. Founder of the Awakened Within Adult. Sorry, I'm just only cheating a little bit myself, a little bit because I didn't memorize this information. And she's also a Bahani Celestial Healing Practitioner. And also she's teaching other souls that modality. So she's spreading the love and happiness for others. Welcome warmly, Adele. How are you feeling today?
I am very well, and thank you very much for that very warm and kind and uplifting introduction.
Oh, welcome. Oh, yes, that's beautiful. Would you mind just only say a little bit about yourself in your own words? Because I just only gave as a tiny, tiny spark of some just only very tiny information about you. So share whatever you would like to share with my audience. They are really open and they're really open and craving
Okay,
any kind of information.
good. So you're saying I can go as crazy as I like with my introduction.
Oh, wow.
So I will keep it. I'll try and keep it short, but still provide sort of an overview of the full of my story. So would like to start off by just saying how I got into like holistic in the first place, like the holistic side of things and my own self-awakening journey. So I was working in the corporate world as processing payrolls, which I really enjoyed at the beginning. I was doing that for 15 years and slowly working my way up that ladder. And I enjoyed it because I was constantly learning and there was always new skills coming along. But what I didn't, because I didn't have the self-awareness to realize what impact the stress was having on my body. So every single month when it was around cut-off time for the payrolls, my mouth would be full of ulcers and I was having a reaction in my body, but I wasn't aware of this. And then after about 15 years of that happening, it the reaction that was happening in my body was bigger, and it was, my energy was very, very frantic, and I would realize, I was getting to a point of realizing that when I woke up in the morning, my energy felt imbalanced, and then at the end of the day it felt completely out of balance, and I was just completely beside myself. And I was doing, at that point I was doing yoga once a week, and at the end of that yoga class, I'd feel amazing. I'd feel centered. I'd feel balanced. I'd feel like I literally come home after a yoga class. And then the rest of the week, I was completely out of balance. And I was trying to work out what was going on. And actually, I just realized that my journey actually started at a festival. So it was a music festival. I was there with my family. There was a well-being area. And I actually wanted to have a tarot reader. There wasn't anyone offering tarot reading, but there was somebody there. Well, in fact, the whole of the well-being area was offering different modalities of healing. And I'd never had healing. I didn't really know much about it. But the person at the welcome desk recommended to me a lovely lady who did colour healing. And this lady, when she did the healing on me, the difference that I felt before and after was so huge that I couldn't ignore it, because it made me realize just how much my energy was out of balance. And it was her that picked up on some things around me. So she was saying that I was an empath, and I was picking up on other people's energy. So she was saying when I was going into work, because I wasn't protecting my energy, I was feeling drained at the end of it. So it was her that started this journey with me. So that's where it all started. And she recommended for me to go to the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary, which is local to us in Sheer. And then I started a 2-year course. So I started that just to understand energy. And it was more for myself. I wasn't there to be an energy healer. I was there to help manage my own energy and try and work out why I was feeling so out of balance.
Yeah.
And then I'd say my second module in, I just remember having this aha moment of thinking, this is something that I want to share to the world. So then I did want to not necessarily be an energy healer. I don't even feel that that is what I wanted to be. It's more that I wanted to teach it to others, because I thought, well, how am I only just finding out about this? And I was in my 30s, and this tool is open to absolutely anybody. There was nothing special about me. It's open to absolutely anyone. And so, yeah, that's what I feel super passionate about. And it led me to other healing modalities, including Reiki, and then finally Rahani. And now I teach Rahani because it can be taught in one day. But I love that everything that's taught in that it's simple and people can pick up the basics, and there's a whole 21-day almost like self-healing challenge that you can do with it, which is a good way to kind of embody, that's it. Embody the energy. Yes, I mean there's a lot more to it, but that's just in a nutshell.
Wow, that's amazing. You had a long story. I didn't know. I really my goodness, I'm so happy you shared that story with my audience and also with me. I didn't know actually you had the 15 years and the corporate, and you've been working, and then you'll be out of the balance, and then you start your own journey of your healing. So many people didn't know that. Actually, they didn't know is that a possibility outside to go somewhere and find those places. So would you mind just when you share and unravel how is the awaken with the Adele you created, or where's that pop up? Because through your own healing journey, probably there was something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. So the name Awaken Within with Adele was, the title of it is that everything that I wish to teach, or all of the classes, everything that I deliver is designed to help awaken the knowledge within the individual that I am working with. So that's the idea of like the Awaken Within with Adele. It's like me working with someone to help them awaken the knowledge that is within them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, now I know, because every moment in our life, like, yeah, and you triggered something inside me, but it's not like a low vibration energy, but you just only pinpoint something in my memory now. So thank you so much, because I would like to say, so like for me, like I'm calling this lifetime mind, body, spirit, intuitive quantum healing for your soul. So also is
Yeah.
something behind it, but it's not about me today, but it's about you, about your journey. So definitely awaken with Adele is like there's something like when you've been start talking about it, I had the vision in my head like is that connection. I don't know how about you, you can tell me in a second. Is that gave that so I had that vision in my head around ancient Egyptians goddess, the that's around the feminine energy. That's why I'm being drawn to, because that sounds for me, and that sounds familiar with me. I don't know how is that. So probably your background is like Egypt and the ancient, yeah, that kind of.
Yeah.
How does that resonate with you?
That's come up a few times. So yeah, that has come up a few times in readings. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that, because that's so deep, and deep work on yourself, because when you're just only supporting others and helping them to rise up their own vibration and frequency, then you're helping yourself and you're supporting yourself.
Yeah.
Because also you mentioned at the beginning, and my audience, and some of them I know they're going through the huge challenges in their life. And also you said you've been rebalancing and you've been looking and searching what was causing that. So can
Yeah.
you just only share your own story? I don't know if you would like to, of course, or maybe you
Yeah.
can give us any brief information how they can cope with the low vibration energy, and how they know they've got that energy. What is the kind of the symptoms?
Yeah. Really good. Yeah, really good point. So for me, I was noticing it with being irritable. So like if I'd leave work and music would be playing, if it wasn't the right song, I would just be so irritable with the music. And I remember thinking, this
Oh,
isn't to do with the music, but I couldn't shift this feeling of being really irritable and frustrated. And um yeah, like I think that's the key thing of recognizing or knowing when you're out of balance is probably when, for me, it would be a case of, like I say, being irritable, more frustrated, but also I'm more reactive.
mm,
And that's a sign for me to know, okay, I'm out of balance here. But at that time of my life, I didn't have many tools, whereas I have a lot more tools now. And it's the meditation is one of the tools that I've used. Meditation, energy healing, mindfulness has been a really big tool that's helped me. So those three tools are what really helped me in the moment. And when I say meditation, I'm referring to actually just coming back to the moment. Um, it could even be like a 30 seconds of me coming back to my breath and treating that as, when I'm saying meditation, it's that moment of me coming back to myself. And I can do that out in public now, or if I'm in a supermarket, I've noticed myself feeling super overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, something's off balance here. And then I'll just take myself off in the aisle somewhere and just have a few moments where it looks like I may be looking at stuff on the shelves, but I'm just actually rebalancing the energy in my body and trying
wow.
to ground my energy. Yeah, I did that a lot during the COVID period. I did that a
Yeah,
lot, but I think
yeah,
as well, when you start doing energy work and you start opening up to doing the healing on yourself, there's an element of you being able to pick up other people's energy as well. So when I was going into that busy supermarket during COVID period, I think I was picking up a lot of anxiety from other people. So it's not just what I'm dealing with. It was like, it just felt
yeah,
like I was dealing with the conscious collective, I suppose. And so I was having to really ground myself. So the breath is, so I was, when I left my corporate job, I was already doing a teacher training course in yoga. And so I trained as a yoga instructor, but I
oh,
realized,
really?
yeah,
That's surprise. That's surprise to
yeah,
me. You never unraveled this.
no, I keep that like under hats.
Secret.
But the reason being is when I tried to teach that, it didn't resonate with me to teach it. So I
Okay.
I realized that that was the beginning of the journey for me to actually understand all of these different things and all these different tools that I can use to help manage my energy. Because I started it, it coincided with when I did the course at the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary as well. So it's like I kind of did both of them alongside each other, but they gave me very different tools. And so when I left the corporate world, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to go into yoga and I'm going to become a teacher and teach yoga. That, like I said, when I taught it, something didn't resonate, and I was teaching a form of movement meditation, which was more connecting the breath to the movement. And then when I looked into it, when I did a managed mindfulness for stress 8-week course. So I become a teacher trainer in that course. And when I did that, I realized the movement that I was doing was a mindfulness meditation. It was a mindful movement meditation. And also when I did the course, I realized that was the bit that was missing for me. So I had been doing yoga and all these different things. And even I tried meditating, I gave up meditating because I thought, I can't do this. I've got a busy mind. I was coming out of the meditation more stressed than when I went in. But then when I did mindful meditation, something changed because it helped me. Mindful meditation is like helping you to accept what's going on. So if you have a busy mind, it's accepting that that's what's going on for you. And as soon as I did that, as soon as I started to practice mindful meditation, mindful movement, mindfulness in action, that was the bit that I had been missing. So that's, yeah, key for me, I think, the mindfulness or just awareness.
Yeah, aware what's going on in your head, or aware
Yeah.
what's going on really inside you, and not
Yeah.
judging, not blaming, and not whining. Oh, why is that happening to me? Why is that happened? Putting yourself in the victim position, just only accepting. Okay, it's going on, and it's going to
Yeah.
pass. Yes, I'd love to, because that what you just only said a few seconds ago, because that you just only gave a lot of support and a lot of encouragement for the people, so they know it's like a mindfulness meditation, or maybe the meditations, like a common meditation for some of listeners, will be good for them. Anyway, we don't know actually, but definitely, like just when you say, also energy healing. But what I love to say around it is like you've been guided through your spirit guides, angels, whoever would like to guide you, by your own truth. Is that mega? I don't know how I can say in the words. I don't know if you recognize that inside you, you've been guided to come to your own self. I mean, be authentic with yourself, which is mean speak your truth and just only follow your truth and do your truth. And do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Through that journey, like you just only said, that transformation journey.
Yes, it definitely does feel like that. Because like when I was saying about me learning the yoga, because it
Teacher,
didn't
yes,
feel right to teach it. So then, like you're saying, coming back and being guided. So I feel like everything that I've done, I have been guided to
yes,
on a path. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So that's why, yeah. So everyone who is listening, guys, just only don't give up. Just only try this, try that. If doesn't happen, it doesn't happen yet, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen never. So just only slowly, slowly, step by step. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Speaking your own truth and live with that truth. Yeah, that's amazing. But that emotions also, that just only meditation helped you, and that mindfulness meditation, or did you use something else to raise up that vibration? Because I know you said you've been irritated by just only listening the high music, or loud music. But is anything
Yeah.
being you just only notice about yourself when you've been in that place?
Yeah. So really good question. So at the time when I was experiencing this, I wasn't aware to kind of check in to. So now I do it quite often. If I'm feeling out of balance, I might say to myself, okay, what do I need in this moment? I'm going to give you an example. I was at a party, and I could feel myself getting quite anxious as I was chatting to two people. And when I checked in to be like, okay, what's going on for me? The reason I was feeling anxious is because the person that was standing next to me talking was actually too close to me, and I just needed to take a step back. And when I took a step back, I could feel my energy ease, and actually she took a step back towards me, and I kept going back
and
and
just going
forth.
back to the wall.
But the point was, I could feel because the thing is, there was three of us chatting. I know, I recognize in myself that my anxiety is worse in big social situations.
Yeah.
So I already knew I was feeling a bit apprehensive about being at this party, and I was using a lot of mindfulness techniques just to be very present. I would, before I was aware and before I had self-awareness in big social situations like this, I would go to the toilet and spend time in there just to kind of center myself. But I didn't realize what I was really doing. And now that I'm aware of it, I know that that was my coping mechanism. So at this party, when I checked in, I could feel myself getting overwhelmed when I could hear them both talking. I wasn't listening to what they were both saying because I was so absorbed in my anxiety. This was like probably about 3 years ago, but it's just an example that I'm using. And so when in that moment, I thought, okay, I wanted to run off to the toilet just to be in that space by myself in my own energy. And then I thought, okay, let me just check in and see what can I do in this moment to make myself better. And that's when the stepping back, I was like, okay, that was easy. That's all I needed to do. And then there's the other times if I'm later, like quite recently, I was in a situation where I could feel myself getting overwhelmed, and I thought, okay, what's happening? Oh, it's really noisy, so just try and block the noise out a little bit. So it's just I think the awareness is the key thing, and I do now ask myself quite often, what do I need to do in this moment to make my nervous system more in balance?
Okay, so the people just carry on.
And also the other thing is the acceptance as well. So before I was like, would keep wanting to push away the feeling. So as soon as I could feel it, I'd be like, oh no, I don't want to feel this. No, don't like go away. But actually the acceptance, and actually now I'm actually showing myself a huge amount of compassion. So when I can feel this, I feel so much compassion for myself to think, my gosh, this is a big emotion. And the fact that I recognize this and I can be the witness of it, that is a huge thing.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing, because everyone just listening, guys, will be saying, oh my goodness, that's so huge. But also another question probably they're rising in their own minds, like how I can be aware of myself, how I can do that. I've never been aware of myself. What is the awareness? Yeah, so many people not really conscious about it. What is the awareness? They never heard of that, and no one told them that stuff. But before you're going to answer this question, I would like to just only pinpoint that's the beautiful things. Like you just only said, you've been aware and you had a acceptance for yourself where you are at that moment, and also you had a compassion, which was great. That was a self-care. You show that's beautiful loving yourself. So how do people can be aware? How did you
That's a
find it
really
yourself? I did that's easy question. That's I would actually say it's a very common question, but it's a really deep question.
Yes, definitely. And so the awareness, so I'd say for me, my awareness started to develop when I was practicing the mindfulness tools. So the awareness, so with mindfulness, you're bringing your awareness back to your felt sensations in the body. And so it can be the awareness of the breath. It could be awareness of your body, different parts of the body, but also the muscles and where in the body there's tension or where in the body feels relaxed. So when I do this, if I'm in a situation where I'm feeling overwhelmed, my body will be tense. And then bringing my awareness back to the body, I can relax it with the breath. So I can just gradually, with time, as I'm just calming my nervous system with my breath, I feel my muscles relax with it. so awareness, it's kind of it's bringing the energy, or our energy, our focus from our head and through from our thoughts, and it's bringing it down into the body, but also bringing it to what's going on around us. And so the example, that going back to the party example that I was saying before, my awareness was in my head, and with the anxiety and the overwhelm, I wasn't really, I just couldn't take in what they were both saying in the conversation, because I was so caught up here. And then when I started to bring my energy down to the body of like, okay, what's going on? Why am I feeling this? What can I do to make myself feel better? Once I started to calm my own nervous system, I could then be with them in the conversation.
Yeah, so that's like a much more, how I'm just only saying, thank you so much for sharing that information. So how I'm just only saying, like you are got the light-headed, so you are just only traveling somewhere and you're not present with your body actually. So your legs could be shaking. So that kind of the anxious anxiety and that stressful situation in your body. So when you come back to your body, I mean, when you just bringing back that sensation, even that five senses, actually six senses, let's say, because we've been told we've got the five senses. Six is like a minimum. I would like to say we need to know now, but it's much more than six. I would like to say it's around the 50 or 60. I've just only read it in some beautiful book. We've got them much more, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, when you bring it, that sensation inside, because sometimes the people didn't smell even, they didn't feel. So that feeling, when you bring it back to your body, so from my point of view, that would be awareness. But anyway, that's explanation from my side and your side. So the audience, the people who are watching us will be mind blown. Say, oh my goodness, they gave for us lots of information. Thank you, Adele. That's amazing. Would you mind just only say a little bit about, because that's all about awaken with the Adele. That's amazing energy it's coming from. Would you like to only say, how did you and where did you start learning that Rohani celestial healing?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to think when it all started. I'm trying to think of the year, to be honest. So the actual, when I trained at the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary, that was about 8 years ago. And then about 4 years, a few years after I qualified for that, I then did the angelic Reiki. And then a few years later, I trained in the Rahani. So without having my certificate, I would say it was about a few years ago that I first started that journey with the Rahani. But if I had gone straight into the Rahani course, I wasn't ready to take that energy. I needed to do the journey that I did, which was start off the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary, understand what was going on with my energy. I didn't know what meditation. I did know what meditation was. I felt I couldn't meditate, so I knew what it was, but I just couldn't do it. And then that's when it all started to unfold that actually I can do it. It's just I have a busy mind, and that's fine. So yeah, so I needed to learn the basics at the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary. It's very much about energy. That's it. It's about energy. It's about meditation, centering your energy, grounding your energy, so that you can be that clear channel. It's very, very simple, basic. It's just about the energy. And then when I did the angelic Reiki course, that is when I my intuition started to develop, because I was connecting in with the angels. So that's when it all started to, I felt like I was being guided more after I did the angelic Reiki. And then the Rahani, the Rahani brings it back to it being very simple. So although we still work with archangels and energy outside of us to bring in that energy, it just brought me back to that simplicity of what I was taught in the Harry Edwards Healing Sanctuary.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. And then it's like okay, so you went and then you've done the angelic Reiki and you've done the Rahani Celestial. So how is that was feel, and what kind of the feeling rise up after? Did you feel the satisfaction, or did you feel like, oh yes, that's the right path, that's the right path, and that's my desire, and that's my mission on this planet at this time? Did you experience that?
So yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I remember when I was approached to do the Rahani course, I remember thinking it wasn't something that I was actually thought I was looking for. It just kind of fell on my lap, and
Okay.
and I thought, okay, I'll go for it. Like, I'm always open to learning, like developing myself. So I'm quite often will do courses just to develop myself. That's how I that's what I thought would it was, but I thought that that's what it was more for me rather than for me to deliver. But then when I was doing the course and I was learning things about the violet flame and the six-pointed star, and there was just different things in the course that I had been introduced to like a few months before, and I didn't know that much about it. And then when I got to the course, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a bit that it's all like, it was almost like all of the pieces of the puzzle were coming together with the
Yeah.
Rahani course. Yeah. And then when I did the teacher training course, again, that fell on my lap again because a friend was doing it. I wasn't actively looking to do it at that time, but a friend was doing it, and she said to me, "Do you want to do it with me?" And I thought, you know what, I'd rather do it with someone so we can be a support network for each other. And so that's how it all started with regards to, I did the training course, I loved it, and then yeah, it's just, yeah, every 6 months I teach a Rahani celestial healing. It's around that anyway, so yeah, around about 4 people. I try to keep the group small just so that uh yeah, it just keeps the energy more intimate. That's it.
Oh
Yes.
yes. Wow, that's amazing. So everything is like a connected, it's like a dot, like you mentioned as a puzzle. And you don't have to go and search, because when you've got the right energy and right
Yeah.
clearing, and like Jason said, that's angelic Reiki and that's Rahani, and everything was popping up, and just when you're landing on your lap straight away,
Yeah.
you didn't ignore it. You just want to say, okay, okay, I can grab it, I can take it. And
Yeah.
now it's everything, yeah, just when you're unfolding for you beautifully. So that courses you are running, so how is the how is they looks like a little bit, if you would like to share it, and what kind of the goodies, I would like to say, that another souls can take it from it.
Okay. So the Rahani celestial healing courses that I teach them in person from my
Mhm.
home in Surrey and Frimley, and it's a whole day course, and we cover, gosh, there's so much in the course. I try and think like, so we would cover the different um, elements of also we get the assessed master.
Yeah. Mhm. Ah. So, hi everyone. So, definitely, Adele will come back to us, and definitely, she will be talk a little bit more around her course. Oh, yes, she is. She's coming back. So, I'm not going to, hello again. What happened?
Hey,
Can you hear me?
the signal's going really weird.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Can you hear?
Yeah. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Can you can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me as well?
Sorry,
Okay.
it was really broken up.
Yeah. I think so. We've got another difficulty, but don't worry, stay there. One more time.
Hopefully, I can hear you now, so that's good. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I've got one more question. So before we get wrapping up, it is that's
Okay.
live. So, but our audience will be really grateful anyway to finish that at the end. So I'm not going stopping.
Okay.
I didn't go to. Yeah, keep carry on. Keep carry on. What they can get from your courses?
What they would get. Okay, so just trying to think what to share. So with regards, because there's a lot to cover in the actual day course, and I think the key things for people to know is that they will learn the history around Rouhani, how it came to earth for us to use. They will learn the different energy that we can call in to assist with the healing, but also about protection, how we can center, protect our energy, the different tools that we can use, but also the six-pointed star all represents a different way. It's almost like when you're practicing Rahani, you're living it. So it's almost like with yogis when they are teaching yoga, they are living it, they are living, breathing it. So it's kind of like that as well. It's living in center with love. So actually one thing that I do want to say is Rahani is very heart-centered, and it's very much about coming from a place of love, and it's very much about connecting with how we are truly feeling and living from a place of love. So with Rahani, and when you do an energy healing, it's working on a lot of energy and releasing those fear-based emotions so that we can come to our center and live with love rather than fear. So it's coming back to that place of love and one heart. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I would like to just thank you for sharing. I would like to just mention for others people who are watching us. It's like if you're not really familiar about the Rahani celestial healing, definitely you know the love being, another word you can say, or maybe Ra goddess. So everything is around it. So just only I would like to mention for them, because some people are saying, "Oh my goodness, that's so long," and I just only know the love beings. I know the Ra. That's goddess. Anyway, so I would like to only mention that. If the people would like to, maybe some of them just watching us and they will be drawn to your courses, are you providing any courses online, or are you providing the courses just only one-to-one?
So that's a really good question. So at the moment, I am providing an in-person course on the 10th of February next year. So that's the next in-person course. I, in the future, plan to run a 21-day self-healing program. So that's something that would be available to everybody online, in person. Although that one I'd probably run online, but it would be available to anyone, so it doesn't matter where they live. But the actual, when I teach Rahani, it's the in-person at the moment. Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. So always opportunity, always opportunity.
Yes.
The right time will come for them.
Yeah.
Like always, I'm just only asking the last few questions about you, about yourself. So if you would like to give somebody who is running sorry, that's another question. So that first question before that, what helped you, or any kind of the mantra, any kind of the healing? You can share anything with my audience if you would like to. Coming over challenging time in your life, or maybe that was a one word somebody just only gave you, and that was like a sparkle all over you.
Yeah. So one of the biggest tools that I also use, which we haven't mentioned yet, is journaling. So that is a very powerful tool. Yeah. So
Beautiful.
when I was journaling, I was actually journaling more on my emotions. So at the end of the day, I would journal to ask myself, when today was I triggered? When today did I react or respond in a way that I didn't want to respond to in that way. And I would journal and think, okay, what was going on for me? Why was I feeling this? And quite often I was able to link it to an old belief. And so that is, journaling was, I did that for religiously every day for a good year or two. But then over time, every now, if I find myself, like now, if I find myself feeling triggered, I might think, okay, do you know what? I'm just going to journal, and I'll write like pages of just to help me process and reflect. And that I would say has helped me the most. So I would ask myself, when today was I triggered? What belief was coming up for me? And there's other questions that I would ask, but one of the two, the question that was always was a bit of an aha moment for me was, so if say if somebody said something to me and I had or I was triggered by a situation, I would then, the question would be, if I was to tap into my higher self and their higher self, what would the story be? And then I would see it from a completely different perspective. Because I suppose when you tap into that, your higher self, their higher self, you're tapping into the fifth dimensional, and that's that higher consciousness. Whereas when I'm stuck in the emotion or the trigger, it's stuck in the third dimension, with the emotion, and it's really hard to come out of that unless you bring some self-awareness into it and then tap into that higher stuff. So quite often when I did that with that question, it helped me to accept what happened and for me to see it from a different perspective. Okay, they didn't say that because they were wanting to be nasty. They said it because they were triggered or something. Yeah, that quite often is because they're triggered. But
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
and then it's obviously
Yeah.
triggered something in me. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, and
completely.
also like, sorry, so
It's
the
okay.
journaling was a way to do the processing, but everything that I've mentioned so far is very much about healing and wanting to identify what's going on for me. So when I first started my healing journey, I was taking it quite seriously, and I was very much, okay, I've got rid of that, right, onto the next thing. So I was constantly like moving, okay, onto the next thing, like clearing. I was getting to like enjoy life and have fun. And so now I'm very that's where I found chakra dancing. So I love dancing, and chakra dancing is really playful, and I bring dancing props in just to make it really playful. And once I did that, I then brought joy into my life. So yes, I was still healing, but I brought joy in. So I think whatever your viewers, if they're
Yeah.
like trying to think how to manage how they're feeling, it's what makes them happy, what brings them joy. If it is dancing, go and like just put some songs on in the house. I try and do it. I did make a promise to myself to listen to music every day. When I get really busy, I can feel myself slip with this, but when I do play music, I can tell it has a good impact on my mental health, because I dance and I feel good and I sing and I feel lighter in the body.
Yeah, that's definitely like that. Wow, that's so
Yeah.
amazing. You shared that information because lots of people just only, like you mentioned, just healing, healing, clearing, healing. That's going to happen anyway without you, or just only with your awareness, because you'll be pushed, you'll be forced by the universe, but your God, whatever you believe are, you'll be forced if you not will be paying attention on it. But so many of us forgot about that, the joy, that's the happiness, because we are experiencing the human life. But also I'd love to just only share, you just only remind me that information when my teacher from biofield clearing energy, she told that beautiful story around, actually I shared that in my regular sisterhood circle about something like we don't have to be angry on each other or just only have a resentment on each other or that any kind of the feeling, even if we are being triggered by them, which is only thinking
Yeah.
that's by them, that they failed or because they said something, you said something, and that's now like a two. I don't know, tiger just only or two dogs barking at the same time, but they forgot the one dog doesn't have a teeth, another one as well, so they're not going to bite anyway. So that's the reason. It's like we just only been sent out by our higher self, like just only mentioned at the fifth dimension. I love that perspective. That just only get out from the three-dimension world and just only be for the moment in the fifth dimension, or the higher self, and the sixth dimension, and just only watch and just only think, oh my goodness, that's amazing. That's so amazing. So yeah, you opened a lot of possibility and opportunity for the people. Thank you so much for the sharing.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me on board.
Yes. Where the people can find you if they would like to connect with you for another, maybe somebody would like to record the podcast with you. Who knows? You never know what the future holds.
So actually there's two ways of connecting. So you've got the Awaken Within with Adele. So that so we have, I do run a bi-weekly Living Well Today live show with SPTV Live. So yay. So yeah, so that would be another way of, and I bring different guests on every time I go live as well. So that's just another way for people to connect. Yeah, and that's basically, it's called SPTV. I think it's called Spiritual Psychic TV, and it's just a Facebook group, and then they go live. Yeah, so that's one way. Yeah, and then that, because I actually run as well a holistic community hub, and so the SPTV Live, I bring different members from that holistic community hub into, so they're all therapists and they all bring a different flair. Every single week is different. Gosh, yeah. So a few weeks ago we spoke about law of attraction, and it's basically a space that I'm wanting to create where it's open and honest, and people can have those open and honest conversations about how they are truly feeling, and we can look at ways for them to help manage how they're feeling, really. Yeah. Yes. So in answer to your question, the Awaken Within with Adele is a Facebook group, or Holistic Community Hub is another. The Holistic Community Hub is more the in-person, but the Awaken Within with Adele is where I do a lot more online stuff.
Okay, good. So are you going to share that information with me so I can leave it under this video, so people just come in and straight away going tap in and going straight away to those? Yeah, that's things. Yes, that's
okay.
good. Amazing.
Sounds good.
That's amazing. Would you like to say something?
Thank you so much. No, I don't think so. Just thank you very much for your time, and thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming here and yeah, just accepting my invitation. Thank you so much, Adele, and see you next time.
Thank you.